Welcome back to another video. This will be a follow-up regarding the automation of component separation. So for this case study, I will use a gearbox. So I will drag and drop the gearbox. This is within a step file format. You see that by default SolidWorks is set to open those, but I will drag and drop it over here. Now this will be the file, and if I will go and have this saved, as we can see over here, I have the possibility to use the following file formats, but I cannot save this directly as an STL within the file save as. Therefore, I will use 3ds Max, and over here I will import that file. So I'm going to go File, Import. I know that this is on the desktop in Gearbox. We can also set the axis up. So we see by default will be Z up. And if I will go over here, we're going to see the orientation will be like this. So we can have that swap with Y axis up. Since this was created in SolidWorks, the Y axis will be pointing upwards. So this is the gearbox. I will have it selected, File, Export, Export selected. And on the desktop within the gearbox folder, I will have this saved. And again, I will use an OBJ. I could use an FBX because I cannot save this directly as an STL. And I will have that exported. And now, once this will be finished, I will jump within Blender. I will initially select everything and delete. Go to Import, STL. And over here, I will go within Desktop, over here within the Gear folder, Gearbox folder, and we're going to see that, so not STL, sorry, this will be OBJ because we just converted that. That was the reason why I didn't find that. So Gearbox OBJ. We're going to see that being loaded. We're also going to have the material. This will be why OBJ is much more superior to STL files. We're also going to have individual elements over here. But now if I will select everything, I will go to File, Export, STL. Again, within Desktop, within Gearbox. We're going to see that when we do this save as STL, everything will be merged together within a single geometry. So this is why STL is the least, let's say, powerful 3D file format. Because now if I will go within CATIA and I will create a new part, I will go to Shape, Digitize Shape Editor, and I will have that loaded over here. So let's take a look over here on Desktop, Gearbox. This will be the triangle mesh, so this will be the STL file. I will have this loaded, and we're going to see that everything will be merged together over here. So just like within my previous video, we can use Mesh Cleaner, Structure, Split, and we're going to see that this will contain 107 connected zones. And those are actually the individual components. So we're going to see over here, if I will hide that, I will hide, when CATIA splits the model, the first model, we're gonna be usually the largest. So let's take a look at this. Reframe on. If I will hide that, we're gonna see that this will be the base mesh. If I will also hide that and reveal the other one, okay, let's just hide everything and see like this. So mesh 1, okay, so mesh 1 will actually be only this. So this will be those elements that will be used to keep the bearing over there. So this will be actually that component, center graph. And as we can see, this will be the intermediate shaft compensation ring. And over here, if you're just gonna start revealing various components, we're gonna see that all of those will be individual. So we have this top component, this one as well. Now the main problem is that we have to manually input the names. This is why usually it's not recommended to work with STL files, because they are, as I said previously, inferior to other file formats. We see over here the OBJ file format. This allows us to export using individual components. So we can see over here all of those, we can select those. But now if I will import the STL that we just generated over here, so within desktop, gearbox, gearbox STL, we have that loaded. If I will just move it to the sides, we're gonna see that this will be the STL. So the main thing and the main difference is that everything will be joined over here together. If I want to see within the product tree in Blender, I can select it, press comma, and we're going to see that everything will be nested underneath this mesh, the gearbox mesh. While for the OBJ, we're going to have individual components. Now, if you want to split this within Blender, we can easily do that. I can just press tab, this will take me to edit mode. I will press A, this will select everything. And if I will press now P, this will be the separate. And we can separate this, in this case, by loose parts. We cannot separate this by material because STL doesn't have any material properties in comparison to OBJ to the left. If we're going to separate by selection, since everything is selected, it will not split anything. But by loose parts, this will actually check individual components. And after we have this splitted, I will press tab to exit that edit mode, and we're gonna see this will be the individual bolt over here. So we see the other, we have the, now for the casing, as we can see, everything will be nested together. This is because the model, when it was created, it doesn't have any loose parts from the top casing to the bottom one. And when we do the automatic splitting, only the elements that are not directly linked will be individually split. So we see over here that even that compensation ring over here will actually be splitted. So, but other than that, we're gonna see that the bearings will not be splitted from the shaft over here. So if I want to do that, I can press tab again, select this. I can press Ctrl plus in order to expand the selection, and we're going to see how that selection will expand. And afterwards, if I will hold down Ctrl, I can deselect stuffs over here. I can also enable X-ray, but we see how much Blender added to that selection. We also have some vortices over there. And now looks to be good, but we're gonna see that if I will try to split this, this will leave an unfilled area over here. So if I will press P, selection, if I will select this, so in this case it didn't leave any gaps, and we have the bearing over here individually selected, but actually, as we can see over here on the shaft, during that selection, we also selected that shaft surface. So we're going to have a gap over there, while over here we're going to have a double face selection. And another problem regarding STL is that the mesh will be triangulated. But if you're going to check over here the mesh for this one, when I exported this, we can also set it to be either triangulated or quads when we do the export. But this is the main difference between CAD modeling, where we don't have this triangulation, and this polygonal modeling, where we either gonna have faces, like for example, if I will create a plane over here, we're gonna have 4 vertices, 1 face, and the edges, and the same for a cube. You're gonna see that this will be a quad model, so I can select the top face, I can do an insert, I can do an extrude, but we're still gonna maintain that that quad geometry over here. While for converted elements like this one, we're gonna have them triangulated. And actually, in order to obtain rounded elements, like we see over here, we're gonna have a lot of geometry added. But again, I usually won't recommend to use STL files, and I would recommend the use of OBJ, as we can see over here. This will offer more flexibility, but STL is more commonly, let's say, present as a file format, but it has a lot of limitations that we need to work around. So keep that in mind when you are splitting CAD files, and if you are using STL files, that there are various aspects to be aware when you do the individual divide of those components. But in this case, using CATIA, we see that we can hide only the top case. So CATIA managed to split that properly, while within Blender we have this, so we should do that splitting manually over here. And that can be a little bit trickier, since everything is considered to be a single element and we need to pay attention to the selections and splitting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I will position a similar video over here on the left side and the subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.